Hello everyone, my name is Parampreet and today I will be discussing with you about our course 68th BPSC Mains live online course. So first and foremost, let me give you few of the basic details about this course. The key features of the course is that number one, this course is for a total period of 1 year. The course duration is of 1 year. And we will be conducting the classes for around 250 to 300 hours in this course. The entire course will be live online. The students will have the facility to attend these courses online, and the videos will be uploaded on our platform, which will be available for the students till the validity of the course. And during that time period, you can watch those videos unlimited number of times. I mean, that is going to be a very interesting thing, because unlike the offline mode, many times once you have heard the teacher, you then do not get a chance to hear him again in the same mode. But here the video recorded lectures are with you. Apart from the basic topics of the syllabus, like for that matter history or polity, in this course we will be also having some special classes for the topics like general Hindi, grammar, Presi and essay writing. The course is basically meant to prepare you for your examination, and that is the reason that in this course we will be putting special emphasis upon your conceptual clarity about the topics related to each and every subject that is needed for the examination. Many of you would be understanding this thing very well, that in the mains examination we have to write an answers to the questions in essay format, in paragraph format. In the preliminary examination, it is objective type questions where you have to choose one correct option out of 4. But in the case of the mains examination, we have to write an answer in an essay format, dividing it into paragraph. And those kinds of answers can only be written if you have very good conceptual clarity of the topic. And therefore, in this course, the emphasis is going to be upon clarifying those concepts from where the questions are mostly expected in the examination. And along with clarifying your concepts, we will also help you to develop the skill that is needed in answer writing. Now, this is going to be another very important and useful feature of this course. Conceptual clarity with helping you to develop the skill for answer writing. In the context of BPSC examination, or for that matter any such examination, the nature of the syllabus is such that most of the time a student is overloaded with studying different subjects and various topics on that subject. And because of that overload of the syllabus, he forgets to brush up his skill of writing the answers. And there I find that majority of the students, in spite of all their hard work, in spite of all their sincere efforts, are not able to qualify. तो कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम बहुत ध्यान से, बहुत मेहनत से किसी चीज को करते हैं, बस एक छोटी सी गलती के कारण हमारा रिजल्ट हमारे एक्सपेक्टेशंस के जैसा नहीं होता है. इट हैपेंस मेनी टाइम्स. एक बड़ा अच्छा शेर है जिसमें शायर ने कहा है कि एक ही कदम उठे थे गलत राहे शौक पर, एक ही कदम उठे थे गलत राहे शौक पर, मंजिल तमाम उम्र हमें ढूंढती रही. तो बस वही गलतियां नहीं करनी है कि मंजिल तमाम उम्र हमें ढूंढती रहे. और उन गलतियों में अगर मैं मेंस एग्जामिनेशन की बात करूं तो जो मेरा अनुभव रहा है स्टूडेंट्स के साथ, what is my experience with the student is that this is one place where they commit mistake. They just spend most of their times in studying the things, in memorizing the things, and they take it for granted कि पढ़ लिया है तो लिख देंगे. How difficult is it? Because we have been doing it from many years in our life. This is what we do in our school. This is what we have been doing in our colleges and university. But the nature of this examination is very different from that which you have given. हर इम्तिहान का अपना एक नेचर होता है और जब तक हम उस नेचर को नहीं समझेंगे तब तक हम उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स के हिसाब से प्रिपरेशन नहीं कर पाएंगे. And obviously, if we are not doing preparation according to the requirement of the examination, success is difficult. I won't say you will fail because obviously that doesn't sound good, but success is difficult. इसमें तो कोई दो राय नहीं है. तो answer writing is very important part and we will be doing it inside the class. In the classroom, there will be regular discussion upon the previous year questions. In the classroom, there would be regular discussion about probable questions in the coming years. And we will also try to learn the skill of putting our thoughts on the paper in such way that we are able to get good marks in this examination. So that is, as I said, is going to be one very, very important feature of this course. Along with this, here you will also get a course material related to both the traditional topics like history, polity, economy and all, plus the current affairs material. So that all will be provided to you. So these are some of the important features of this course. Now, we have a team of teachers who will be taking their respective subjects in this course. Among that team, fortunately, I am also one of the member of that team. So I will be taking care of the section of Indian history, art and culture. I mean, history, art and culture of India and Bihar. This is one major topic of your syllabus for the BPSC Mains examination. In the syllabus, what has been mentioned by the BPSC is that in paper 1, modern history of India and Indian culture will cover the broad history of the country with a special reference to Bihar from about the middle of the 19th century. So middle of the 19th century here means 1850. That is the middle of the 19th century. And then they have also mentioned detail about this. So here, the modern history of Bihar will include the question on introduction and expansion of Western education, including the technical education. It will also have a question on Bihar's role in the freedom struggle of India. So, because the syllabus is more about the modern history of India, so in that context, it is mentioned, that is Western and technical education and its introduction in Bihar, because it was during the British period that we find some policies were formulated by the British for the introduction of Western based curriculum in India. They wanted Indians to study what they are being taught in England. They wanted Indians to study English. They wanted Indians to study their history. They wanted Indians to know about their culture. And why they wanted all this? Only because they wanted to make the Indians believe that they are being ruled by those people who are the most progressive people on earth. ये कहते हैं साइकोलॉजिकल इंपैक्ट डालना चाहते थे वो अपना हम लोगों के ऊपर. तो साइकोलॉजिकल इंपैक्ट डालने के लिए उन्होंने हमें वो पढ़वाया जिनसे हम ये मान लें कि ब्रिटिश आर द मोस्ट प्रोग्रेसिव पीपल ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड. ब्रिटिश आर द मोर प्रोग्रेसिव रेस ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड. तो हम ये मानने को मजबूर हो जाए. बहरहाल, so this is that topic, Western education and technical education, and how it was introduced specifically in Bihar. In areas like Patna, or that matter Purnia, some educational institutions were established. Later on, certain universities came to be established in Bihar. So all these were based on Western idea of education, because before the Britishers in India, the idea of education was very informal. Informal in the sense that there used to be gurukuls, there used to be pathshalas, there used to be madrasas, and in most of these kind of institutions there is no fixed curriculum for education. There is no fixed duration of education. It all depends upon the teacher. When the teacher feels that now his student is prepared to face the outside world, he used to tell, चलो बेटा आप जाओ, हो गया, इतना ही सिखाना था तुम्हें. लेकिन Britishers introduced a very formal system of education. As we see today, when we go to the school, we know na, how many years we are going to stay in this school. After that, when we go to the college again, so it is in that way. Now here, no doubt, we will need to have little bit of the understanding of the background of the British education in India, and then we will come to the Bihar part. Then the question will relate to Santhal uprising, 1857 in Bihar, Birsa Munda, Champaran Satyagraha, Quit India movement. A knowledge of the chief feature of Mauryan and Pala art and Patna Kalam painting will be expected from the examinees. Okay, so this is what the syllabus mentions. Only this much. Now, no doubt syllabus is easy to understand. No problem with the syllabus, and no doubt syllabus is very clear also upon the things from where the questions can be asked. But as we have the habit since childhood of getting the syllabus from the school, in which they clearly demarcate the chapters, in which they clearly demarcate the major themes, under those themes chapters, and then they provide us some course material. In case of the BPSC examination, the examining body has only given you this. They have not demarcated it in the form of separate chapters. And neither the things appears to be very chronological in nature. So when we study the things from the books, it is very chronological. But here it is not very chronological. Why I am saying that? Because if you see here, they are talking about Mauryan and Pala art after mentioning everything about the modern history of India. So obviously Mauryan art Pala art, it relate to ancient and medieval history. They should come before, if you go by chronology of the history. So that one thing is missing in the syllabus. And that is where I find that many times the students get confused about how to study, from where to study. One thing which is again very important here is that this is a syllabus in broader terms. But when you will see the questions, you will find that sometimes questions have asked from that area or from that topic which is not very explicitly mentioned in the syllabus, not very clearly put into your syllabus. And why? Because obviously they have not written the syllabus in a very traditional manner. Now it is there where the classroom courses help the student. So in the context of history or art and culture, what we are going to do is that, taking into consideration the questions which have been asked in the previous year's examination, I have prepared the whole syllabus by dividing it into different themes. Themes on the basis of the questions and on the basis of the nature of this examination. So through those themes, we are going to cover this whole what has been written in the syllabus. And one advantage of that would be that in that theme, I have also included those implicit areas which a student fails to understand when he tries to do the things only from the things very explicitly written over here. There are some hidden areas. वो जैसे नहीं होता आजकल जब सामान खरीदते हैं तो स्टार बना के देते, कंडीशंस अप्लाई. तो कुछ conditions are applied here. If we understand those conditions, obviously the things would be better. So now coming quickly to how these topics are going to be discussed in the class. So in the classroom, as I said you, that we will be doing the things theme wise. And in the theme wise, because the syllabus is more tilted towards modern history, so first major theme would be the landmark or important events of modern history from the middle of the 19th century. That is one major thing. Landmark events or important events of the history of modern India from the middle of the 19th century. And here one would be the revolt of 1857. The second would be rise or formation of Indian National Congress. Third would be partition of Bengal and Swadeshi movement. And in that way, we will be doing the things. Coming up till Quit India movement and India's freedom. Because with the freedom of India on 15th of August 1947, in history, the modern history of India ends. Otherwise, so obviously, India remained modern after that. We are continuing to be more modern every time. But in case of history, it ends in 1947. So we will be starting from here and doing topic wise all the major landmarks we will be completing. There are many such landmarks like non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, then Swadeshi movement, then coming of Simon Commission to India, then in between revolutionary movement, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Gadar Party movement which is related to revolutionary movement. Okay, so all that. So one theme could be this: landmark important event of the modern history of India from the middle of the 19th century. Then the second would be the second important theme, just a sec. So the second important theme here would be personalities. If you will see the previous year questions, you will find that many times they have asked you the questions in your examination directly from some important personalities. And here we will be doing the personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, Ravindra Nath Tagore, Jawaharlal Nehru, Swami Sahajanand, Jay Prakash Narayan, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Subhash Chandra Bose, Ram Manohar Lohia, etc. These are some of the important personalities who have made some very prominent contribution not only to the modern history of India, within India, particularly to the history of Bihar. So all those personalities which are related to the modern history of India in general and history of Bihar in particular, that will be covered under this second theme. So first theme is important landmarks. Second theme is personalities. So third theme will be British education policy. And in British education policy, we will discuss both the general education and technical education. So what all is the contribution of the British towards the education policy, and how did it impacted Bihar? So here we will be discussing about the features of this policy. We will be discussing about the causes, why British introduced it. We will be discussing about its outcomes. This is also important, because no doubt if it is education, then outcome has to be better. But because this education was introduced in India under colonial control, so some of the outcomes were not better, because they introduced this education in India to serve their own purpose. And that is why some of the outcomes are not very good. So how this policy was introduced, or why this policy was introduced, what are the features of this policy, and what were the outcomes of this policy. So this is going to be the third theme of this section, history. The fourth theme of this section will be art and architecture. Now in this art and architecture, we will be doing the Mauryan art forms, the Gupta art forms, and the Pala art form, because Mauryas and Palas are very closely associated with development of some very important art forms in India. Mauryans are associated with development of cave architecture in India. Mauryan ruler Ashoka is associated with development of the pillar architecture in India. Palas are associated with the development of miniature painting. That two are always important, very explicitly mentioned in your syllabus. But one more we will add to it, Gupta, because Guptas also ruled from the same region where Mauryans have ruled, Magad. And Guptas have also done some contribution to the development of art and architecture in India. So Mauryan art form, Gupta art form, and Pala art form. Plus here we will also be doing regional art forms of Bihar, especially painting. So there is one form of painting that is called Madhubani painting, and that is another painting which is very specifically mentioned in your syllabus, that is Patna Kalam or Patna school of painting. So that we would be doing, that is your fourth theme. The fifth theme here would be major uprisings against the British. So during the British rule in India, one reaction to the British rule was Indian national movement, which we are going to cover here. There is one more reaction to the British rule, and that is in the form of tribal movement, in the form of peasant movement, in the form of working class movement, and in the form of Dalit movement or the depressed class movement. Okay, so these are other movements against not only the British but also sometimes the upper castes of the Hindu society, and sometimes against the upper class, like for example working class movement. This is against the capitalist class, where caste is not a very big factor. This is against the capitalist class, labor fighting with the capitalist, and here caste is a major factor, depressed class movement or Dalit movement. So the lower castes of the Hindus fought against the upper caste like Brahmins. So that is again which we have to do, and while discussing this we will be doing, like for example in tribal movement, Santhal uprising, Munda rebellion, in peasant movement, Champaran Satyagraha of Gandhi ji. Okay, so these are some of the very prominent movements of Gandhi ji, and no doubt I hope all of you would be aware about Champaran, because the Champaran movement of Gandhi ji is the first Satyagraha of Gandhi ji in India. After coming to India, Gandhi started his movement from Champaran, and fortunately it is in Bihar. So in BPSC, so it is going to be asked many times, and it has been asked. I'll also share with you some of the questions. I'll show it to you on the board and then we will discuss. So these are the 5 major themes in which you can divide the whole of your syllabus. It will make your task very easy, because after dividing the whole syllabus into these 5 major themes, then you can be very sure that now whatever question will come from this topic, I would be able to write an answer. Otherwise, the way syllabus is given, the things are not becoming very clear from it. Okay, so that is what I believe, like we should do in this way, and that is how we are going to do the things in the class. These are broader themes. Under these themes, there will be many aspects, some of which I have already given a detail about. And now coming to another very important aspect, and which I said is very core feature of this course, and that is your answer writing. To understand the importance of answer writing, to know how to write an answer, I have brought few of the questions which have been asked in the previous year in this examination. Now there are few things which you keep in mind. When I went through these questions, what I found was that number one, that some of these questions are very analytical. Some of these questions are very factual. So this means that while studying, you have to emphasize both upon analysis and facts. This question is very analytical. लिखा ही हुआ है, critically analyze the factors responsible for the emergence of Gandhi as an eminent nationalist leader, which means that some factors other than Gandhi's own ability has played a role in the rise of Gandhi as a national leader. Critically analyze, थोड़ा critical होना पड़ेगा यहां पर. फिर write an essay on the Quit India movement. Was it spontaneous? आपसे पूछा गया है. अब आपको या तो हां बोलना है या तो ना बोलना है, और यह सबसे बुरी कंडीशन होती है एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में. डर लगता है कई बार, क्या बोलूं. ठीक है, तो इसको मैं कहता हूं एनालिटिकल है. यहां चाहिए आपको कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी. हियर यू नीड कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी. सम क्वेश्चंस आर वेरी फैक्चुअल, लाइक दिस वन. trace the course of expansion of Western education in Bihar between 1857 and 1947. तो ये तो factual है. You need to know the years in which institute was opened and where. So these two types of questions are there. Some are analytical, some are factual. And as I said you that in the classroom we will be putting more emphasis upon conceptual clarity. Through the course material we will be giving you details about the facts. This means that this is going to be a holistic course for you. ठीक है. और सबसे बड़ी बात, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज, मैं अपनी क्लासेस में आपको ये आंसर राइटिंग वाला पार्ट बहुत अच्छा कराऊंगा. दिस आई विल मेक यू डू, बिकॉज आई बिलीव that if a student has not worked upon this for at least 7 to 8 months in the course of his preparation, in the final exam, he may suffer. He will suffer नहीं बोलूंगा क्योंकि एक बड़ा ही अजीब सा जजमेंट हो जाता है, लेकिन हाँ पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं कि आप परेशानी में पड़ जाएंगे. ठीक है, तो दैट इज द होल थिंग एंड दिस होल कोर्स इज गोइंग टू बी ऑनलाइन फॉर यू. सो obviously you don't need to move from your place. Even those who are working, they are also going to be benefited by it. Okay, and videos will be available, so you can easily watch it at your comfort. And yeah, there will also be some possibilities of your interaction directly with the faculties, that I understand, because most of the subjects are humanities based. So there is a possibility of that also. You can directly talk to the faculty. You can understand your strength and limitations by discussing the things with them, and they would be helping you to improve it upon, including me. Okay, so that is all, my dear. So bye everybody, take care, hope to meet you soon. Thank you.